Hello, I'm Pst I'll, and this week's video is going to be a bit different. Instead of an update to my current project, Lost Hearts, I'm going to attempt to drop some sage-like wisdom from my whopping 2 months of experience using Godot. This little bit of wisdom involves using and utilizing the search help feature inside Godot. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, where do you find this miracle to manage mayhem that game development software development can sometimes become? Follow me and I shall show ye the way, dear lass or lad. So here we are, we've opened Godot and loaded up a project. From here, let's go to the top and hit script. From here, if I go down a bit and to the right, we'll see next to online docs is search help. That is what we are looking for. So now that we've found it, how do we use it? Let's just take a little scroll through the neighborhood and see what's in here. So as you can see, it contains a ton of stuff. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty confident that everything you could possibly need is in here. I think the most useful way to get information out of this thing is to simply search for it. So for fun, let's look up Node 2D and take a closer look at what information is contained inside. Here's how it all looks. If you're not familiar with search help and you're new to Godot, this might be a bit overwhelming. Whoa. Calm down. Take deep breaths. It's okay. You'll get through this. I'll explain as much as I know, and it'll be easier. I promise. Before we even look at the information of Node 2D, I want you to take a look at the panel to the left. You'll notice that a new script called Node 2D has opened there, and below that panel is another panel, and that has filled up with words like top, priorities, and methods. This panel is an easy way to navigate your scripts and these search help info sheets. Now let's get back into the main event. At the very top is the node's name, and under that is a list of nodes that this node inherits. In this case, it's canvas item, node, and object. This means that Node 2D has access to any property and method that is mentioned in that list. Under that is nodes that inherit this node. This list is larger, but basically nodes in this list have access to everything in Node 2D and everything that Node 2D inherits. Hopefully that made sense. Sometimes I say things and have no idea if they make sense. Next, we have a little description of Node 2D, which is nice, and the next section is a tutorial using this node. I personally haven't used it a ton, but the times I have used it, I found them very informative. The next two sections are just amazing to me. The properties section gives the name of properties and what data types they are, and both are clickable. For example, if you click on the position property's name, the sheet will skip down to the property's description and give you a bit more information about it, along with two functions or methods that you can use to change the value or retrieve the value. If you click on the property's data type, in this case the position's vector 2D data type, it'll open another info sheet. Let's get back into the Node 2D sheet and take a look at the methods section. This is all the functions or methods that you can use that relate to Node 2D. You'll notice to the left of the method are names of data types. To the left of the method name, it says void. That means that method doesn't return a value. But if it says something like float, like getAngle2 does, then that method returns a float data type. Clicking on either the method name or the data type will do the same thing as it did for the properties. If you click on the name, it'll bring you to the method description. If you click on the data type, it'll open up another info sheet with more information on that data type. You might be saying this is all fine and good, Pst I'll, but how do I use it during game development? Well, I'm glad you asked, because here's how I do it. In this example, I want a sprite to change its location when the scene loads. So first I'll create a new scene using a sprite and save it as a sprite. I know, I'm so very clever. So I'm just gonna real quickly just change this sprite's texture property to something random. Oh look, it's my awesome channel logo. Okay. Once I'll do that, I'll attach a script called Sprite. Again, my genius knows no bounds. So we're all set up. Let's go over what I want the sprite to do. I want the sprite to move. Another way to put this is I want the sprite to change its position. We know from looking at Node 2D that it has a position property. Now let's check to see if Sprite has it too. So if we take a look to the right, and we see the inspector, we can see headings of one of the headings is called, oh look at that, it's called Node 2D. Isn't that convenient? It's almost like I planned this or something. All these headings you see are nodes that Sprite inherits from, which means that you can access the properties, methods, and signals in those nodes while using a sprite. What's a signal, you might ask? Well, a signal is basically what it sounds like. It's something a node has, and it could send a signal, and it's very useful to telling other nodes to do something when they receive that signal. Now we'll hop right into the script tab and go to our node.td info sheet and find the position property. I need to change the position property, and now that I've looked at the info sheet, I see that it takes a vector2 data type. And if I click on the property's name, I can find a method to set the position called setPosition. So first things first, I'm going to add a variable called newPosition, and newPosition is going to be the sprite's new location when it loads. So I'll set both x and y to 500 pixels. Next, I'll use Godot's built-in ready function, which runs when the scene is loaded. In this function, I'm going to move the sprite to new position using the setPosition method I mentioned earlier. And real quick, we'll test to make sure that it works, and bam, success! That's how I use the search help in Godot to help me with game development. Sometimes just looking at properties and methods a given node has can help you solve a problem. I think using search help has helped me personally expand my knowledge of how Godot works and how to use nodes. Okay, I know this week's video wasn't the most rip-roaringest thing ever, but I thought it might help anyone who's new to Godot and might be having trouble finding information. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, and if you're feeling generous, subscribing. I also enjoy reading and taking advice from comments, so please, if you want to, leave one. Like always, have a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and have a good one. Bye.